Hello, thugs. Welcome to Mrs. Best Reviews channel. We are back again with James from Watch Your Mouth Reviews.
Yo.
Yes, we are glad to be here. We're here to recap Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 11, Episode 11, 11. Good luck. So make this video experience good luck. We're going to get it started. We see Sierra at a cookbook event. She is coming out with a cookbook. I have seen her post on social media that she does a lot of soul food, things like that. She called her cookbook ghetto-ish. I have two problems with that. One, why is the food called ghetto? Because the food that she be cooking is just soul food. That, by the way, she swears her food, it's Atlanta recipes. No, this is soul food. It's not just native to Atlanta. Oxtails is eaten in Jamaica and here in America. Like, we love oxtails. Multiple cultures love oxtails. Hispanic culture. I was like, Sierra, just stop trying to give backgrounds on stuff, because while your family was teaching you how to cook, they should have been teaching you how to read and write. Just keeping it real.
And also gave you some speech analytics too.
That would have helped. If she could read or write well, I guarantee her speech would be just a little bit better, probably. I just feel like school was not a very big point in her household. It shows, because
because she got pregnant at a young age, so no, it wasn't.
Yeah, we have to remember her little story. I'm like, she do hair, which a lot of people do. It's hard to just get popular in hair, so she did that with the glam shop and now the cookbook. We know you can cook, but these are not just Atlanta recipes. No, it's soul. Anywho, we see Eric show up, so we know Sierra and Eric are supposed to be getting a divorce, but based on this way she describes him, I think he's someone who could have potentially became abusive if she would have stayed with him, just on his behavior. Because it was weird. He showed up, went on her red carpet, was like, I'm her husband, and this is, I helped her create this company and start this. I'm like, oh Lord, not you showing up uninvited, talk about you're fighting for your wife, speaking at her event, still referring to yourself as the husband, and then taking credit for what she did. Like, I don't like Sierra either. I feel like she's a horrible representation of Geminis. I also feel like she do be cheating on every dude she with, because they all say the same thing, and that can't just be coming out of water or thin air. And but I don't think that this shit with Eric is like normal or okay. So she basically says to him, I want you to leave. And that is that. Do you have any feedback or commentary on that?
No, because this is classic Sierra pattern with the men she chooses and the men that she's been with since we first were introduced to her. We saw her go through this with Shooter. We saw her go through this with BK. We see this all the time with her. And we see that these are the men that she chooses. Now, what I will say about him showing up there, remember, they're on TV trying to get a check. I don't take anything they do seriously here. Especially on this franchise. Miami may be different. This franchise, I know is a whole bunch of bullshit. I know it's a whole bunch of foolishness. I know it's a whole bunch of fuckery. I'm not finna sit up here and act as if like she'd say, Eric, bring your ass to this event. And make sure you are extra, because we have a contract. You're supposed to be there, Eric, and I just keep it minimal. Don't embarrass me.
Sierra is one of those women who needs to learn how to just date somebody privately. She always dates somebody.
It's not even about that. I don't even want her to date anybody. I want her to date herself. I want her to.
I want to know why all these baby mamas and mothers out here be so sensitive to people's opinions of them and the things that they do. But Sierra is another mother on here, and I don't give a fuck the excuse. Why the fuck? I've been trying to figure this out since we seen her come on this new season. Why the fuck did you marry him if you had lived with him and knew that things weren't good with him and your kids? Why would you marry a man that has a horrible relationship with your children? I understand this happens all the time, but we've got to stop doing that, especially when they're young and in school and, impressionable. Like, I'm still looking at Sierra with a side eye with much of what just her existence, but I'm gonna move it along because she irritates me so much, y'all. I'm not wasting my time on Sierra. I'm just not. She's part of the BBMC. Bitter Baby Mama Club. Y'all know what it is up
Yep.
in Mrs. Best Reviews. I can't stand that. So the next thing we see is Spice. We find out that Spice has all these charities, which we've kind of known about for some time. Spice is
Right.
someone who's very, very giving. And I actually, it's one of the things I really like about her. She does all this on TV, but when she's off camera, she's giving back to her community, the communities in Atlanta, communities in Miami. She's giving back to everywhere she's been. So I appreciate that. What I will say, she had a blue dress that was cute, and her BBL ruined it. And it just doesn't look natural. It wasn't the hourglass, like even when the people be having good BBLs, because they do exist. Some people have great BBLs, but when she was walking up to eat with Safari, I was just like, it looks like airplane wings coming out the side of your hips. Like, I really hope Spice has learned her lesson from the plastic surgery, y'all, on some serious shit, because she almost died. If that's not God telling you you botching yourself, I don't know what the fuck is, Spice, but the plastic surgery has to stop. It just does.
I don't get it. I don't think I'll ever understand why this is even a trend, why this is even happening, why y'all feel like y'all got to put fix a flat cement and a whole bunch of air all up in your asses. Y'all don't have flat tires back there. It is
You
very
don't have
much.
flat
Yeah,
tires.
yeah, it is very much your flesh. If you worked out and you age a little bit, all that's gonna come to you anyway.
You know, I was thin my entire, James to tell you,
Yes, yes.
extremely thin. Also have muscles because I had to work out and stuff for little sports and stuff. When I turned 25, suddenly I got titties, and I was like, oh my God. And then when I turned 27, I remember my thighs became an issue. I would go on diets, y'all. I would exercise, detox water, did juicing, avoided solids altogether. The black thickness kicked in. So listen, your body does change. It may not be like I don't have a huge butt and like triple D's or anything, but
Let
I
me
have
explain something to y'all ladies. It's okay if you ain't got no ass. Don't nobody want no big old ass where you look like you can't even find your asshole to wipe it. So
That's what
I
my
yeah,
husband says every time he sees a girl with a BBL. He's like, "How does
yes,
she wipe her ass?"
yes. That's the first question. I like who what is the rat's wife's name?
Big booty Judy.
Yes, her. I'm like, girl, I know you got a damn claw tub in that house, and I know you got the soak. Like I know.
She swears it's real, Big Booty Judy, but when you look at her pictures
Eh,
from back in the day, some of it's real, but not all of it. That's all I'll
yes.
say. Moving it along. So Spice meets with Safari and basically uh brings up the rumors and things that Erica has been saying. She also talks to him about, you know, being with Amada, but that was just a short thing. Spice moved on from that. So Safari let Spice know that him and Erica Mena are still having sex. Well, they were having sex as of a month from them filming this, which is still bad because if you're supposed to be dating Amada for this timeline, now you were fucking Erica just not long ago. So this is why people don't like or trust you, Safari. Anywho, so he says him and Mena had still been having sex and that she was talking about wanting to be back with him as well. He then says that things went left with them and things were going good when she decided to take a trip to Mexico and she was with another dude in Mexico. Uh, he feels that he doesn't have to tell Amada the things that he does with his baby mama because, you know, Spice did ask. She's like, well, does Amada know about this? You're supposed to be dating this. He's like, I don't feel it's her business or place to be told things about my baby mother, which I think, honestly, a lot of men feel that way. Like, you do have to communicate with your current girlfriend about things, but I can understand, like, if you got to meet up with your baby mama and y'all have a small kid or something, like, the spouse who's choosing to date you, Amada in this case, can't be mad because not everybody's like Alan. Just saying.
Okay. So here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
If the shoe was on the other foot and Amara went and fucked out, right? Because that's what we're talking about, right? Amara went and fucked out.
Mm-hmm.
So if she went on TV and said, "Oh, that ain't none of his business," do you really think Safari would be like, "Yeah, sure, that's right"? Because I told her the same
No,
thing. Do y'all
no.
really think Safari
No.
Samuels
No.
would really sit up there and be like, "Oh yeah, I do the same thing. We have a mutual understanding."
No.
Absolutely not. That
It's
girl
not
be every
okay.
hoe in
But
the
this
book
is why
that
no one believes their relationship. Because I'm like, so you're supposed to be with her, but then at the same time,
you still fucking Erica.
and then Shay, even though Shay was out of line, Amara want more kids. But and obviously with someone she gonna stay with because she chasing some fake ass dream. But that's not gonna happen. So I'm just kind of looking at this whole situation as like, eh. But one thing we do get that's interesting from it is he says he does pay child support because Spice was like, as a single mother, I can't even, like, that bothers me. SAFAREE says he pays child support and he shows receipts. The receipts that he showed, because Spice said some of the months, it wasn't just for like, oh, he paid his child support for 3 months, or oh, he paid his back payment child supports. It doesn't work that way. He had monthly receipts, meaning he's been paying monthly. Now, if his child support is due on the 5th and he's paying on the 10th because it's coming late, it's like, but I mean, people have pay schedules. As long as you're getting paid, I feel like be happy, but I don't have kids, so I don't know how all that goes, and I don't like getting into that. And this is why I was careful with when I had kids and how, because I didn't want to be dealing with child support because I saw my parents arguing over the shit with us. So I said, I don't want to fucking do that. Some people look at their families, come from broken homes, single parents, and they choose to learn from it and do differently, like not having kids in moments where it's irresponsible. Then there's those people who are overly career driven and don't want kids. And then there's the other folk, the Amaras and SAFAREEs and Nenas, who just want to have this mess in court. So it's a hot mess, but he does show receipt. He even shows text messages of himself trying to get the kids on the Mondays that we'll hear about and get back to later, and Erica not responding, or if she does respond, she's like, well, you was just with this other bitch, so you got time now. And it's like, if he's hitting you up about the kids, why do you care if he's with another bitch if you legally divorced? For your kids' sake, Erica, you would think that you would, want them to see their dad. But we will come back to all of that. Spice basically says, after seeing the receipts, that she feels like Erica is wrong. She says, we have a duty to protect our Black men who are trying to do the right thing or are doing the right things. And she says that this is especially true when it comes to children and whatnot. So what did you think about Spice seeing the receipts from SAFAREE?
I didn't care, because it's like, at the end of the day, what does that matter to you? If he's not paying child support to you, why do you care? Is your baby daddy paying child support? Is the question.
No, and that's why she wanted to know if he was.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, why does that even matter to you? One of the comments that she made about we need to stop tearing Black men down, that comment bothers me, because it's still like this underlying blind loyalty to people who are not loyal to you, and I mean men specifically. Because my thing is this: that's not tearing a man down if he's not doing what the fuck he's supposed to be doing. That's not tearing the man down. That's just making it obvious.
I think when she said that, she was talking about the fact that Erica has been actively trying to paint him as this person who is still in that negative place as when she was pregnant and divorcing. But now that he's not doing that and you're getting your child support, why are you trying to shed him?
See, and that's not what I thought. That's not what I thought she was talking about. And see, and that's why I'm saying, to me, Erica, we know who Erica is. And we know if Erica doesn't get what Erica wants, Erica does the most reckless things imaginable. Mm-hmm. And the problem is, and that's why I said, SAFAREE would do so much better with men than he would with women. Just because I feel like he knows how to pick a good guy friend. You don't know how to pick a woman. Because you always get these women. Yeah. You always get these women that are so irrational.
Yep. Nicki Minaj, we see her acting a fool online, saying shit that pisses people off constantly. Then we see Erica Mena, who, let's keep it real, no one really liked Mena or fucked with her, even when she was with Rich. People started to really like Erica Mena and welcome her back to the franchise when she was with SAFAREE, because it was like, the fuck? They got together? And I just feel I feel as though, as Spice says, she's probably like in context in reference to the thing with Erica's behavior. But I do get what you mean. Like, it's not tearing people down when you're holding them accountable. But I think the Black community as a whole, specifically, I can speak on it because I'm obviously a part of that community. But I think the Black community as a whole, when it comes to things like baby mamas, baby fathers, marriage, children, the families, all of that, I think we need to hold each other accountable a little bit more. I think SAFAREE and Erica are hot mess expresses. I think they're both lying after hearing what Spice said. And I don't care. I think they both are knowledgeable that they're divorced and they're split and the demise of it and the stuff that happened with him getting reposted constantly by the Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, TMZ, all these other people. I feel like they know that are trying to profit. And I see what you mean by the difference between Miami cast and the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta cast, because the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta cast is a bunch of OGs who are thirsty to continue being on the show because they've not set themselves up for success outside of this show. Carly Red, RASHEEDA, Kirk Frost, Scrappy. You guys have been here since season 1, and this ninja can't even figure out how to get storage. Y'all are redoing your bistro for the 19th, 15th million times. And I'm just looking at stuff like this is becoming problematic. So I'm just like over it. I don't believe either of them. And I'm tired of season after season of Love and Hip Hop being about, even when it was on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood and SAFAREE supposedly dealing with Lyrica. I'm tired of SAFAREE like being like a main story.
It's like, why do y'all keep trying to make him happen? Like, it just
an unpopular opinion. I don't think he's the most attractive man. I think the women are blinded by that body and that dick mold of that picture when we saw how big his man part was.
That is exactly what it is. And the problem is, and the thing about it is, Erica's embarrassed because Erica chose somebody who was not mature enough to really step forward and put the effort in to be a husband. And you need to stop picking men like that, because you try to do that same shit with Bow Wow.
Erica dated Little Bow Wow. Yeah, look.
Yes, you tried to do that shit with Bow Wow, and you saw how goofy that shit
seriously
was.
Someone who's dated Little Bow Wow. Nobody.
Yes, I don't take her seriously. I have never taken Erica Mena serious, even when she was on season 3 of Love. I never took her.
When she tried to sing that song, I was done with it. I was done.
It was like, you are a clown. And the problem is, you want people to look at SAFAREE a different way, but at the end of the day, it takes two, and you did choose him, and you did went along and married him. Not to say he's not accountable for anything he does.
About it for Spice and everybody else is, it's like, you had your child early and were in a serious medical condition because of the stress caused to you from this man, and you go back and sleep with him.
So that's what makes me, because at first I wasn't gonna blame Erica for any of this shit. Yeah, she's ranting. Yeah, she's doing all this. Yeah, she's doing what these women are doing nowadays. When you feel like, because men did this shit, that's why women feel like they could do it too. When you're no longer with this man or whatever, you feel like because you have this baby, you always feel entitled. And it's like, no, we have a child, but we are not together. You have no entitlement to me anymore.
Yep.
So that's just what it is. And so that's where I kind of feel like, that's why I said I didn't know where Spice was coming from when she said we need to stop tearing down black men, because black men do this shit more than women do. Black men feel
I feel like, as a woman, I feel like I can speak on that a little more. I feel like females do just as much as African American men. I just think that they do it in a different way and in a less volatile way.
You're right, but let me explain how men do it. Men do it in a way where if you're no longer fucking that woman, then you abandon her and the child. That's how men do it. If you no longer have access to that woman, then you're basically saying fuck you and the child. That's basically what we're seeing in these days.
Yeah. And I see women doing, that is a big difference, because with women, they do a similar thing when the man,
where they're so worried about who he's with.
They're truly done with them. If they see that he's with somebody else, like James is saying, now suddenly, oh, you can't pick the kid up. So it's like, both people are wrong, but I think in the situation of SAFAREE and Erica Mena, they're both broken, immature, sad excuses for adults who got lucky in what they were doing with fame at a time that reality TV was like growing, not already established. So that's really what did it. Moving it along, Lord child. At least we agree. SAFAREE and we both agree that they're both just
waste of a cast member.
of air and space. But Kenny, we see Carly Red and her new face, and Rennie Red. We see Carly Red and Rennie Rucci. I'm gonna go over this quick because I felt like it was a sensitive thing for Rennie. I do think that she's actually struggling. Grief, as a reminder to people, 7 stages. They say it could be several years to get through those stages. It's difficult. It does impact your reactions to things. It does impact your perspectives of things, all types of that. So Rennie talks to Carly and she says she feels comfortable to do so. And Rennie has said this season after season, knowing Carly. And I actually feel like Rennie's one of the few people who's been loyal to Carly in the right way and defended her at times, because she always says, Carly called me every day, has reached out to me. Carly came and did this. And a lot of the cast members at one point or another have said the same thing as Carly. So I just bring that up to say, yeah, Carly may be a little messy, erratic, and lies sometimes, but it seems like she's genuinely there for cast members when they need her, but they seem to, I just want Carly Red to leave the show. I feel like she needs to go away from Love and Hip Hop. I feel like after a couple years ago, not very long, like right before the pandemic, she was doing a gospel show with Tammy Roman. She was in a show with them. I was seeing Carly doing a bunch of movies that were not on Tubi. I saw her in a bunch of programs, and she was doing like legitimate television and thing. I noticed when she started doing that, the cast started to, so I'm like, maybe some of them are jealous because they're still stuck on this show, showing their endeavors, hoping to get business through Love and Hip Hop when she was able to kind of branch off. I do, people show jealousy in different ways. But anywho, Rennie speaks to Carly. Rennie Rucci's obviously struggling, so I'm not going to say too much. I did appreciate that she connected her reaction to Erica Banks as it not being Erica's fault that she reacted that way. I was like, wow, some accountability on this show. Side note, who else was as happy as me? We got no Jessica White this episode. Why did y'all cast her? I feel like they were trying to, I just don't understand.
I feel like Nick Cannon made a call to shut her
like,
up.
Get her something.
Get her something. I don't care what she's on. Get her up out my face. And that's what y'all did. Because her point of being on the show is ridiculous. I almost feel insulted with my intelligence, the fact that y'all brought her on the show, knowing that we would have saw right through that bullshit, knowing that she would have got on my fucking nerves at some point, and knowing that it would have been really ridiculous that we still have yet to hear her sing but 2 notes, and we still have yet to actually figure out how she's connected with the group.
Yeah. Like, you know what? That's a good point.
Yeah, like we're still trying to figure out.
We see Erica Banks do music. We done seen Amy Luciani, who's never been on television before. We've seen her in the studio. Even it's not about whether we like it or not. If this is what you're supposed to be doing, I want to see you do it. That's all. Instead of talking about, it's me and my way. It's me.
No, it's me. And, and when me and Nick were together, Nick was just this amazing man. He's not.
He needs to go to a Taylor Swift concert, Jessica White, and listen to that song on repeat. The one, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
Absolutely.
Jessica need to have that on repeat. I'm trying to tell you. We go moving on along to looks like another smaller scene. So I'm gonna go over this really quick. I'm not just trying to silence my friend. We do got things to do. I have a lot to do after this, so I'm trying to.
Me too. Yeah.
Anywho, we see Spice, Rasheeda, and Shekinah. They're in Miami. We see Flo Rida. Shorty got low. That's all I know by him in music, y'all. Sorry.
It seems like every time I'm in the city, this dude's always in the same city as me. He was in Phoenix when I was in Phoenix. Now he's in Miami when I'm in Miami, even though he's from here originally. It seems like every time I'm in the city, I hear Flo Rida's in the city. Yeah, he was in Phoenix for the longest time I was in college. He was there.
Y'all don't
bought a house there and everything.
James lives kind of near that area, so I'm trying to, whenever I visit him, I'm saving money because Miami's hella expensive to just kick it for a night.
Child, please. She got to prepare me 9 months in advance before she get here, because I promise you, yes, y'all,
it's gonna take about that long.
Miami is, when I tell you, you got to save $50 per paycheck to be able to.
I had a friend go out there, a former friend go out there actually, because she has a friend whose mom lives in Miami. That girl, let me tell you, came back broke. She was telling me, she was like, their housing or whatever, because the lady's mom lives there. She was like, it's not as expensive as California. It's hard to beat California, Hawaii, and New York in price. But believe it or not, right behind those three states in highest prices in the country is South Florida, specifically the Miami metro area.
Yes.
It's horribly expensive. So I listen.
And it ain't worth the price. I'm gonna tell y'all that now. It's not worth the price at all.
No,
Because
Miami is a sinking city. Look it up. It is sinking, and they don't know what the fuck to do. It's hot. The hurricanes come. That's enough for me to stay gone. I don't.
Honestly, hurricanes aren't that bad. I thought it was way bad, but of course, I've only been through a Category 1, so I can't really.
My family's from New Orleans, so when I was younger, I remember being a little girl and went through, I believe, a Category 4. Scared the shit out of me. Like, we had to go on the roof of the house because my family lived in like the lower ward, and it was just a problem. It was a legit thing. Scared the shit out of me. But New Orleans is a city that's not meant to be there, that they have to literally suck water out of for it to exist. So I feel like they get hit harder than other places, even for lower category hurricanes. It's not supposed to be there, that fucking city.
Well, they're underneath the water. So
I know anywho, my family's from New Orleans. Shout out to Nola, but listen, the humidity and the hurricanes, it's like I only really go there for the food now. It's just what it is. Anywho, Flo Rida pops in and makes some jokes and all of that. Basically, Spice brings up the fact that Erica Mena lied about SAFAREE not paying child support, and RASHEEDA says, you know what, at this point, they're both toxic. Hey, she takes one to know one, and RASHEEDA knows toxic.
I was just about to say, I said if that ain't the popcorn, the kettle black.
RASHEEDA just needs to leave the show. We're never gonna take you seriously as a wife.
Right. Ever. I said, RASHEEDA, this where you
just be quiet. But she did make a point. Like, I hated it. I had to put it in. I was like, I
couldn't take the point serious because it came from her.
If it was anybody else, fine. But she was
if it was
right.
Anybody else? Let me explain something to you how I work. I almost knocked this microphone over because I'm mad. Like, let me explain something to you how that works. When it's somebody that demonstrates toxicity and toxicity behavior in their own marriage and life and everything, I would not take advice. It could be the most sound advice. It could be the absolute truth and right. But because they don't live in that reality, I don't take advice from them. I don't want nobody to take advice from me because I don't live in the reality of my advice. When I start living in the reality of my advice, that's when y'all take advice from me. Or that's when or if I start saying the realest shit in the world, I live in my reality. I live in real shit. I'm real broke. I live in that shit. I had an abusive relationship. I can speak on that. I'm not in one now, but I actually had one. So I could speak on that. RASHEEDA, when you say when you say it's Erica's toxic, you pointed one finger, pointed at you too.
Yep.
Okay.
RASHEEDA just wants to skirt by like her and Kirk didn't have their problems, and when she speaks about it, it's very vague. But you can't. Right. You can't, RASHEEDA.
That was very, very Dr. Contessa of you.
Like, stop. Anyhow,
yes.
Sierra meets with Eric, and she basically says that she has not been able to handle her divorce. Eric and her speak in the park. He shows up. He says that he's still upset about SAFAREE wanting her. I guess that caused an area of issue with them too. And that's when I was kind of looking at them like, she has somebody there to serve him, gets him served or whatever. He gets mad. He's been dodging being served, runs away. I don't care about this divorce. I didn't care about the relationship. I don't care anymore about Sierra's relationships. What y'all bitches got to understand is when y'all be nigga hopping, I like to call it, just getting with, moving into your house, whoever the fuck you're dating or talking to at the time, trying to play house like you're really married when you're not. I can't take you seriously. Like, grow up. Sierra, you should have known better. You've had time after time after time. You are not that 16-year-old teen mom no more. You know better. You have platforms. businesses. It's a little reckless to be dating in this manner, especially somebody like this with your businesses and platforms that you have. So I'm not surprised he ran the fuck away.
I'm not either. That's why I was like, oh yeah, that's exactly what
We got
that.
served. Why would you want to stay on camera after that? What are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
So you could talk about he ran, but whatever the hell, some of the things he said aligned with things that every other man that Sierra has been with has said. Now, I understand you're not supposed to change yourself as a human for somebody, but there's also certain things that should be, worked on.
I agree. Yeah.
Anywho, we see Rennie paintball with her kids. I refuse to comment on it because they were all speaking about their grief. So if you have any opinions on it, feel free to give it. But
no, I don't want to talk about that either.
I was crying watching that. I was like,
I wasn't crying, but it was kind of like it just. I really watching that scene really made me feel like I wish she wouldn't have came on this season.
She didn't need to. That's exactly. I think that's what we'll say to summarize it. She was definitely going through something. And
she was going through it was too much. Like you can be going through something, but it was just too much and it was too heavy on her heart. She could barely keep herself together. And I felt like you should have just, unless you needed to check, then I'm gonna shut up then. But I really felt like for me watching her, I felt like you could have sat this season out and came back next season a little bit stronger. And then I'm wondering, are you really seeking grief counseling right now? Because I feel like she needs grief counseling.
I apologize to everybody. I know my background just had all sorts of noises, that there's dogs barking right outside of the doggone window. I'm so sorry. Anywho, I agree with what you're saying already. She had a lot that she needs to work on individually. And I did think about that. I'm like, you did all of this. Now I really, truly hope you're in grief counseling. And to those, because I am a psych major, to those who are interested in grief counseling or experiencing loss of any sort, there are groups almost in every metropolitan area around the U.S. that you can go to. Most counties, parishes, whatever the hell they call it, where you at, have groups that you can go to for free. Grief counseling.
It is free. Yeah, there is lots of free. I've been through several of them myself. They are absolutely informative. They have, and some of them even have several counselors who volunteers their time to actually speak with you individually if you're not comfortable in the setting that you're in to talk about it in front of other people. They do have counselors in the actual department. Some of them volunteer. So that way you could talk to them one-on-one. And then if you feel like you need to continue, see if you have the insurance to see this counselor. Like that's all you can
That's
do.
the other thing I feel like we need to spread. Most of the time, about 95% of the time, your health insurance covers your mental health care. People think that they are two separate things. They are not separate. Your health insurance should cover your mental health care. Now, you may not be able to go to like Doctor-ish or somebody fancy, but you will be able to see someone who's educated.
You'll be able to see somebody, and people. A lot of how your benefits work is that you're given a certain amount of money every year on your health care plan. Most therapists are between $75 and $150 per hour. And if you have like 5,000 to 6,000 sitting there, that's not a lot of money. That's a few sessions a year that you can take up. You don't have to go every week like I did. But I had.
That's what I had to do. I had to go twice a week at one point.
Me too, because it was like
I have anxiety problems so bad. So it really did help. Therapy is helpful. So I encourage.
No, what made me no, because when I was watching Rennie Ritchie, like when I was really looking at her and the fact that she has children, because I forgot about that, I was like, damn. Because like
her mom was caring for them. That's why.
Yes, I was like, damn, like that even makes it worse. But y'all, like, I wish she was seeing like Rennie Ritchie. If you watching us, baby, see counseling.
Yeah, I like Rennie a lot, and I think she's one of the few people who's a good addition to the show.
Me too, but I just feel like I need you to get help. Like I get the stigma of Black people. We don't like therapy. I get that, and that's ignorant of us to think like that because, toxic ass men that tell us.
It's like, yes, you can talk to your kids or yourself or your family about stuff that you go through, but the responses that you get from those people aren't always the ones that are going to help you to grow or to understand something. And that's the only difference between therapists and regular people. We are trained to know how to respond to those sensitive moments.
Exactly.
But we do wish Winnie Rucci well, and if she's watching this, we hope she sees grief counseling. It does not make you weak. I do respect you a great deal also for telling your kids, if you have something that's bothering you, talk about it, let it out, because that's where it starts, and that's how you break the cycle. Moving it along to the bullshit. Um, Spice gets the key to the Miami region, which is, good for her. She got a key to the sinking region. Erica Mena, Rasheeda, and Kirk arrive, and Mena says she's looking forward to avoiding drama. So Shekinah then asks messily, because that's all Shekinah's good for. She's messy. We still know nothing about her life from any reality show she's been in, all the people and cameras she's been in front of. We can't figure out nothing about this woman, but she got something to say about everybody. So Shekinah basically says that ask why SAFAREE was a no-show. It's obviously because of Erica Mena. I hate when people ask questions they know the answer to. Don't do that.
Right.
She kind of tells Erica that SAFAREE met with Spice and that, there were some things that he had receipts to that she lied about. So Erica hears this and she gets irritated. Here's something I always say that my dad and grandma and mom used to say: you can always tell who's lying by who's overly emotional. And emotion is not just crying and it's like being passionate, doing all of this. When you can just answer a question, I'm going to assume you're telling the truth. But when you're, oh my God, there's nothing on the planet that you could have gone through at that big age to react that way, Erica, unless you were lying. And I've looked online. Shout out to the 11 HipHop Instagram page. We will give you some type of shout out because I don't really see too many people recapping 11 HipHop, and I see why. But we do see a lot of comments. I did see a lot of comments and stuff from people saying like, Erica basically is like doing the most, and that makes everybody think that she's lying about this. And it does look like she's lying because they say, oh, well, he paid child support. So she pulls up her receipts and she shows that he has been paying child support.
Right.
But it's like, but there goes, but you see, this was the child support that was applied for December. I didn't get this till January. It's like, and Kirk says what I think a lot of people, especially men, were thinking, like, but he's paying. So even if he's paying a month late every time, that means every month you're still getting money.
She acts like, and this is what makes me mad about her.
She made us think he pays none.
Nothing. But this is another thing. You know how the industry works, and you know how that payment works. You know how royalties work. You're in the industry, right? So he could be owed, like, I have seen situations. I have friends in the industry. I had a friend who was owed $75,000 between 3 labels and didn't get his money until 6 months later.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. And and it happens. Like, and at least it was a month. You act like it was 6. You act like it was a year.
Erica, it doesn't even matter if it's a month. Bitch, why did you lie about child support that you have been getting? You know how many women I know who don't get anything, or when they do get something? I literally have friends who have received a 42-cent check in the mail from the state of California. So she tried to use single mothers and their pain as a way to get, in my opinion, popular again and have the pity party on her, because people feeling sorry for her is beneficial to her in this situation.
It's not only that. It's not only that. Let me explain what else it is. It's the simple fact that you really don't have nothing on this man anymore.
Yeah.
That would actually make him look bad.
So she's trying to use the kids. And then we see further, we see from SAFAREE when he met with Spice that he sends text messages often trying to see his kids. So then Erica shows some other text and everyone's looking at those receipts like, it's not giving. Because I guarantee you, she probably deleted certain stuff out of her phone.
Yeah.
And left the stuff that made him look bad.
Which I don't even think it's that. I think that, like, the shit that they probably were reading were like, well, what the fuck are you, like, he's trying
what
to
are you complaining about? She's saying that he's doing all these bad things. Then she shows
the problem is you are mad because he wasn't what you thought he was going to be when you married him. And that's what happens when you marry
I think she's mad because she thought that she would be the one to hold down or tie down SAFAREE after Nicki Minaj. I feel like Erica is that shallow, and now
No,
that
she is. That's what I'm saying. I really like, man. You can't marry no fucking clown and expect him to be a businessman.
thank you, thank you.
Like, you can't marry no fucking clown and expect him to be, papoose. You can't. It ain't gonna happen that way. It's not. It doesn't happen that way. That's not the kind of man his mama raised him to be.
Yeah.
His mama raised him to be
And I'm
joking,
noticing,
funny,
no
and goofy.
shade, I'm noticing from the men on TV who are Jamaican, who seem to be getting with women, whether they're Jamaican, American, whatever the fuck, they all seem to be doing like the same thing. So I'm like, maybe that's just a part of that culture and how they behave. SAFAREE's not an excuse though, because he's American.
No. Yeah,
Family
he's
is
American. Yeah,
Jamaican.
yeah. That's
But
the problem is that he felt played by Nicki, and he didn't want to feel that way no more. And so he's
now
literally
he's
showing
playing
his
every bit.
ass, and he playing everyone. See, that's why I said he would do better with men.
In that scene, basically, everybody confronts Mena for a lie, like literally every lie she tried to say, and this and that. But then this Spice also said, and he said that. So SAFAREE, I get what he's doing. Some people are raised that way too. Just be humble. I don't got to put everything on the blog. My kids know what it is, and that is what it is. Your kids do know what it is. The thing I don't like is when reality television allows these celebrities to use their children as pawns as a storyline or as a way to tear each other down. I think for the sake of the kids, the mental health of the kids, the future of the kids, they need to stop that. But these niggas don't give a fuck. Production wants to make dollars. But basically, from what it looks like, SAFAREE's receipts were not questioned. Erica Mena's receipts apparently look questionable. And he has been paying his child support. He has made efforts to see his children. He has slept with Erica. She is lying about all of these things, and it doesn't look good. And we saw that vein pop through her head. So she was really upset because I think this is the first time on camera since Rich Dollars on Love and Hip Hop New York that she basically has been openly caught in a lie and made to look like a fool. And it's not SAFAREE's doing this time, Erica. It's your doing. If y'all wasn't talking about this divorce still when you're already divorced, then none of this would happen. Because realistically, if y'all really want to hear my opinion on the whole situation, I'll recap the shit because I'm trying to build my channel and stuff. But my opinion on SAFAREE and Erica's situation is really fucking simple. You're not together anymore, so I really don't give a fuck.
No, and add on that, you're not even married anymore. So why would you allow him to fuck you?
Yeah,
Like,
you're not together.
You're not together
anymore.
No
ties.
You have no ties. So if he did,
and the ties that are there are legally settled. So why?
Yes. So let me explain something to you, Erica. You have the power as the woman to say, "Hey, you're not gonna get this no more," but you let him in. So therefore, you like this is your doing, and that's why I said, Erica.
But she got that same ignorant mentality, and I'm saying it that a lot of baby mamas have, because I've heard friends say, I don't care, that's my baby daddy, so I can sit on it whenever I want. You can, if you want to, fine, and he'll accept it. But don't go sit on it and then trash him the very next day.
No, don't go sit on it, and then when he goes to his actual woman, then you get angry and mad because
she was fine until she seen them Rolexes on Amada's kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you didn't do anything for our kids, but he has been doing things for your kids.
Absolutely.
Like
I said, he's with somebody else, and now you want to get mad because he decided to move on.
Erica needs to grow up. She needs to grow up. And that's why we're seeing so many women on television who are well into their 40s and 50s on other franchises of all different networks alone. Because if you don't work on yourself I believe it's better to work on yourself sooner than later. That's all I'm gonna say. But either way, I'll be glad. But that is my recap for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta season 11, episode 11. Crazy. I am surprised we are on 11 episodes, y'all. We will be back again next week. I will be posting a video of all the lives. I believe I have 11 or 12 lives next week, so that should be interesting, as well as papers for 2 classes. So we'll see if Mrs. Best is still standing. But we will be back next week. We are going to head on over now to James's channel. If that's okay, we can go now.
Oh, yeah, let's go. Okay. Yeah.
We're going to head over now to James's channel to go over some Bell Collective updates. But we both appreciate you watching. The description for his channel is the Link to his channel is in the description. I hope everyone likes the video, subscribes, or leaves a comment giving your opinions. I want to see if you agree with me. I want to know if you disagree with me, but feel free to engage. So with that said, Thug Life, and I will see you on Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. Bye.
Yes.